God is telling you to exercise patience today. I am right on time. I have something planned for you. Have complete faith in me. It is still ongoing. If this was helpful, please type Amen. We find comfort in the ageless wisdom that surpasses human comprehension during uncertain times when life's ups and downs seem unfathomable. Divine whispers, calling us to be patient and have faith in the magnificent plan that is taking shape all around us, reverberate through the passageways of our hearts. God speaks to us as a soft wind bearing the weight of eternity, saying, "Be patient." Our impatience is threatening to overwhelm us with anxiety, akin to a tempest in a teacup. But how does He time it? How does He outpace our impatient expectations? The universe is being shaped by a master craftsman's deliberate pace. Not by the hurried rush of a sprinter. His plans are hidden from view and go far beyond what we can see. Even though He invites us to give up, to trust, we, as mere mortals, cling to the frayed edges of existence and long for clarity. With all of our hearts, trust Him, as though we were giving Him the delicate porcelain that is our dreams. Have faith that the intricate and complicated fabric of our existence is a part of a greater story, a symphony in which discord ends in harmony. Furthermore, He murmurs, "It is not over," just when we start to lose hope and feel defeated by the lengthening shadows. The narrative is not finished, there are still unwritten chapters. Therefore, we wait with hearts rooted in faith, aware that His promises are like stardust, just waiting to burst into brilliant light. God is telling you today that someday He will give you such a strong hug that all of your broken pieces will eventually fit back together. Even when I get old, I will always be by your side. If you love God, Jesus, type 1111. We hear the divine whisper in the stillness of our souls, a promise that is unaffected by space and time. One day, I will hold you so tightly that every broken piece within you finds its place, God whispers, His voice a gentle embrace. Like pieces of a fragile mosaic, our brokenness is strewn all over the canvas of life. We stumble, hurt, through the maze of life, looking to the eternal for comfort. There, in the hallowed area of His existence, He holds us close. His soft yet determined touch straightens the uneven edges of our hearts. Though not precisely, the parts fit together on purpose. The mortar that holds us together, His love, heals the spaces and fills them with grace. We also sense the pulse of an unbroken promise, the rhythm of eternity, as we lay against His chest. With His breath resonating through ages past and future, He declares, "I am with you always." His steadfast company gives the fabric of our lives, which is made up of both happy and sad threads, coherence. He is still there, the North Star leading us home, even as the days grow longer and the world turns dusk, for He says in a whisper, even to the end of age, somewhere beyond the boundaries of our comprehension, where time fades into eternity. And we, frail and limited, hold fast to this truth. His embrace, a cosmic hug, completes and mends us. We stand on the cusp of healing in the furnace of misfortune, where suffering and death shape our spirit. Our lives are woven with redemption by God, the master craftsman, a design that goes beyond simple survival and defies reason. The seasons of desolation, the years eaten by locusts, do not vanish from memory. These are seeds that are deeply ingrained in the soil of our hearts, waiting to be awakened by a shower of grace. The wasteland blooms when the skies are filled with tears and mercy descends upon the desolate land like a dew. Our wasted years end up serving as the groundwork for a brand new structure, an altar of praise. Like abandoned ruins, the enemy is crafty and unrelenting in his attempts to steal our happiness and crush our hopes. However, what was taken is returned by God, the restorer. He picks through the shattered dreams, saving what he can. He touches our ripped souls and they heal. Like frayed manuscripts, our story is rewritten by the forgiveness that blots out our transgressions. Your latter days shall surpass the former, he whispers to us as we emerge from the ashes, our hearts mended together with resilient threads. When the sun sets, it casts shadows that go on forever, exhausted from its journey below the horizon. Yet hope breaks through the gloom like a morning star. Our wounds are evidence of grace as we stand on the verge of miracles. We therefore eagerly await the dawn of restoration, though not without impatience. In 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9, the Apostle Paul reveals a profound truth: "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." This statement expresses the essence of God's love and provision for His people. Recognizing our limitations, vulnerabilities, and shortcomings allows us to experience God's strength and grace. Life frequently presents challenges that push us beyond our limits. There are times when we feel scared, doubtful, and tired. Nonetheless, God's power is most evident during these times of weakness. Not only does His grace cover our shortcomings, but it also uses them as a platform to demonstrate His strength. Instead of trying to hide our flaws, Paul encourages us to embrace them. Rather than acting as though we are flawless, we can accept our shortcomings with humility. We give God's power permission to operate through us when we do this. God's grace serves as our anchor when we let go of our need for independence and let Him lead. So let us take pride in our shortcomings rather than our talents or accomplishments. It is during those times that the power of Christ descends upon us, shedding hope, meaning, and fortitude on our lives. We find that, when we rely on His grace, our flaws serve as calls for divine intervention rather than as barriers. God is saying to you right now, this is the time for healing, blessings, and divine favor. For you, I have amazing plans. Proceed through those open doors. You are entering a season of incredible favor. This is the time to recover. What you have been through has only prepared and strengthened you. You are blessed and called to greatness. Type, I believe in God. God's voice is unwaveringly confident in this potent message. He declares that blessings, healing, and favor are the order of the day. Let us examine the profound truths that He conveyed in His words: blessings and divine favor. God's favor is supernatural. It is not everyday. It surpasses human comprehension and constraints. When He states, "This is your season for blessings," He is encouraging us to look for favor, plenty, and achievements. Though they can be material, relational, emotional, or physical, blessings always originate from His kind hand, open doors and opportunities. The phrase, open doors, denotes fresh starts. God invites us to confidently enter through these doors. These chances can be unanticipated, difficult, or even frightening, but they also bring about purpose and growth. We experience His favor and provision as we move through them. Bounce back time. Our moments of resilience define us, not the difficulties and setbacks we face in life. God tells us that they have prepared us and acknowledges our struggles. Every setback, agony, and disappointment has strengthened our fortitude. It is time to get up now that we are aware of God's strength supporting us. Designed for greatness, humans are not by accident, rather, we are divinely appointed. Every person has a specific purpose in God's larger plan. Our accomplishment of that goal, not our self-promotion, is what makes us great. He uses our weaknesses as platforms to display His strength, so, enjoy this time of year. Have faith that God's favor is upon you, His plans are perfect, and His grace is sufficient. You have a purpose for greatness, you are not alone. This is going to be a do not disturb week. In the name of Jesus, I declare that there are no interruptions, diversions, disarray, or worries. Jesus gives me complete peace. You declare here that you will observe a do not disturb period for the next week. Let us examine the importance of each facet. No disruptions. You prioritize productivity and focus by establishing boundaries against interruptions. Making a conscious decision to do something as simple as disable notifications or make quiet areas helps you focus entirely on your work. No distractions. Distractions divide our focus and impede our forward motion. Your dedication to staying away from distractions is consistent with your search for purpose and clarity. It is an admission that focused attention produces superior outcomes. No disorder. Chaos may appear mentally, disturbed thoughts, or physically, cluttered workspace. Declaring there is no disorder suggests that one wants things to be orderly, both inside and out. It is a request to bring about harmony, no distress. Despite the difficulties life throws at you, you make the decision not to let them get to you. Rather, you ask Jesus, the source of peace, to watch over your thoughts and emotions. His assurance of perfect peace keeps you going. To sum up, what you have said is a strong affirmation. It calls for serenity, clarity, and alignment with heavenly peace. I hope you have a purposeful, clear, and peaceful week. God separates you before He raises you up. Even though it might seem like everything is crumbling around you, He has greater plans for you than you can possibly fathom. We frequently ask ourselves what the purpose of our struggles is during times of solitude and seeming chaos. However, the wisdom of God's methods is beyond our comprehension. Let us examine this truth's significance. God's seclusion is not a sign of desertion, but rather of readiness. We occasionally need to be alone in order to grow, just as a seed needs to be buried in darkness in order to sprout. Being alone sharpens our moral fiber, bolsters our faith, and increases our dependence on Him. His whispers are most audible to us in the quiet times. The falling apart, when relationships, plans, and dreams all seem to be falling apart, it can be simple to give up. However, God sees things differently. He sees past the shattered bits. Maybe what is collapsing is just the framework for something bigger. Disassembly is required in order to reconstruct unfathomable treasures. There are hidden treasures in God's storehouses. He upgrades rather than merely restores. The suffering, bereavement, and uncertainty are components of miracles. His strength is made evident in our weakness. His heavenly surprises are made possible by our dashed expectations. God's immeasurability versus our imagination. God's creativity is immeasurably greater than ours. We are constrained by our imaginations, but He is not limited by our thoughts. He reveals plans beyond our imaginations when we give up control. Therefore, keep in mind that God is arranging your elevation if you feel alone. The fragments breaking apart are a component of His masterwork. Have faith in His unseen work. He has greater plans for you than you can imagine. Ask and it will be given to you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you, according to Jesus. Matthew 7 verse 7. Jesus sums up faith, hope, and divine interaction in one succinct but impactful statement. There are significant ramifications for each directive. This is an invitation to approach God with our needs, wants, and requests. Ask, and it will be given to you. It is a private discussion rather than just a transaction. Asking is an admission of our reliance on Him, the provider of all good things. God takes great pleasure in granting our requests and coordinating His will with our most sincere desires. Seek, and you shall find. Seeking denotes making an effort. It is a purposeful search for understanding, meaning, and the truth rather than just waiting passively. Seeking God reveals undiscovered gems. The solutions to life's riddles. Look for Him in the Bible, in prayer, and in your alone time. Look for Him in both the common and unique. It is still a promise. If you look, you will find. Knock and the door will be opened to you. The knocking motion conveys tenacity and anticipation. Picture yourself in front of a closed door, the entrance to opportunities, successes, and spiritual meetings with God. Knocking signifies our belief that there is something transformative waiting behind that door. It might represent restoration, provision, or a fresh start. For those who seek Him out persistently, the gracious host, God, opens the door. In these brief remarks, Jesus reveals a divine exchange in which His abundant provision, revelation, and open doors meet our requests, seekings, and knocks. May we accept this offer with faith that God's promises are unending. Not by happenstance are you reading this. This serves as your affirmation. It is going to happen for you, whatever it may seem like at the moment. God is going to shower you with love, blessings, answers, healing, and constructive change. Thus, persevere, have courage, and never give up. Your miracle is waiting for you. There are times when the strands of fate come together in the enormous tapestry of life, a subtle reminder that we are more than just observers but active players in a larger scheme. It is no coincidence that you are reading these words, my dear soul. These are your celestial coordinates, a compass pointing in the direction of change, resiliency, and hope. 1. The divine appointment. Picture a cosmic calendar in which each second is painstakingly planned. It is a divine appointment that you are here, at this moment. The universe works together to tell you that you will succeed. Not by accident, but on purpose. Your very atoms are purposefully vibrating to form who you are. 2. The veil of illusion. Chaos is a common disguise for life. We traverse storms of uncertainty, stumble through valleys of doubt, and climb mountains of adversity. However, God composes symphonies of grace behind the curtain of illusion. What seems random is actually a well-thought-out plan, a guide to your success. 3. The promise of provision. You will receive what you ask for. Words that have echoed for millennia. The gracious giver, God, knows what you need before you even ask. Happiness lingers like ripe fruit, just waiting for you to reach out and touch it. It is from the rich soil of faith that solutions grow. Unseen springs provide healing. Love tries to swallow you up, like a cosmic river. 4. The willpower to persist. Remain steadfast during violent storms. Your hold does not have to be firm, it can be shaky and brittle. Because divine strength surges in your weakness. Your heart is held in the same hands that sculpted mountains. Be strong in your submission rather than your independence. There are unseen arms supporting you. 5. The miracle in waiting. Wonder-filled hearts are where miracles lurk, cautiously making their way through life. In line, you are the next person. The portal of opportunity groans open. Your miracle, a meeting point of grace, timing, and faith, lies behind it. It may come as a soft murmur, an accidental meeting, or the dawn after a stormy night. It need not dress in celestial robes. 6. The eternal echo. These words are resonating throughout eternity as you read them. They echo in places not visible to the naked eye, the celestial halls and angelic chambers. Stardust etchings your confirmation, whispered by cosmic winds. You are a part of a story that takes place in heaven. It is a tale of resilience, revelation, and salvation. Therefore, accept this confirmation, dear traveler. Permeate it into your skeleton. You belong to a cosmic conspiracy. You are not alone. The universe is skewed in your direction. Remain calm, your miracle is on the way. And when it does, know that it is the commonplace disguised as the extraordinary. I understand how far you feel. I understand that you might think you do not deserve God's great plans for you. It is possible that you sinned. Perhaps you have doubted more than you have believed. Perhaps you feel as though you are far away from Him and lost. But He is there, kid. You are not too far away. He is holding out His arms wide. He is prepared to give you His whole embrace and restore beauty to your life. God is ready to use and bless you. You do not need to be flawless. We struggle with our apparent separation from God in the still, dark corners of our hearts, where uncertainties resound and shadows linger. However, something real does surface in this hallowed place, something that transcends our failings and hints at hope. 1. The weight of distance. The gap between God's holiness and our humanity is something we have all experienced. This gap is widened by sin, uncertainty, and errors. We ponder whether grace can span the distance and whether we have wandered too far. But pay close attention, God's love is irrational. It reaches into the depths of our souls, through time, and across galaxies, too. The deserving paradox, our currency, deservingness, is faulty. We count our accomplishments and assess our merit. Grace, though, chuckles at our calculations. It springs from the heart of a Father who takes great pleasure in redemption. It is not dependent on merit. You do not have to work for it, my love. Your past does not exclude you. Grace is the prodigal child's undeserved inheritance. The concept of lost and found emphasizes that being lost is temporary. Our vision is obscured by a transient fog. God searches for us, the tenacious shepherd. His arms reach out to embrace both hearts and galaxies. He is not waiting for you to figure out how to get back. Instead, He is already walking the path and whispering, "Hello." Remind yourself that He is your soul's North Star whenever you feel lost. 4. The beauty of imperfection. Perfection is a mirage that vanishes at the touch of it. God makes masterpieces out of broken clay. He does not demand perfect vessels. He uses your doubts, scars, and cracks as His canvas. He redeems rather than discards. Accept imperfections, then. Grace uses it as the background for some of her most striking scenes. 5. The ready embrace. Picture a father looking out over the horizon while he paces the porch. You walk up, battered, exhausted, and discolored. His arms outstretched, with eagerness, not reluctance. He wraps you in robes smeared with grace before waiting for you to get ready. Instead of turning him away, your messiness draws him in. His arms are open to envelop you and heal your wounds. 6. The now moment. Blessings from God are contingent upon your perfection. Blessings fall not on shiny pedestals but on tanned hearts. In the midst of uncertainties, wounds, and unanswered prayers, He is ready right now. His gifts come with a bow of hope and grace. They do not arrive slowly. Hold out your hands and accept, thus, raise your gaze, cosmic child. It is not too far for you. The nearness of God defies reason. His love draws you near to Him like a gravitational pull. Give up being deserving and accept grace. After it is broken, your life will grow into a beautiful tapestry. You are loved and not forgotten. The angels are telling you today that anything is truly possible if you choose hope in the face of adversity. That is powerful. There is always light in the midst of darkness. Angels whisper secrets, the kind that stir the soul and defy reason, in the still places where hope and despair meet. Take heed, their message reverberates throughout the galaxy, the hopeful option. Hope is a warrior, not a helpless spectator. It is situated where opportunity and circumstance converge. Hope spreads its wings during the rage of life's storms. It is not naivete, rather, it is audacity, the audacity to think that a sunrise is just ahead of the storm. Selecting hope allows you to rise above despair and defy gravity, too. The canvas that is everything. Think of life as a vast, star-studded tapestry. A canvas. With the brush, hope works. It is bold enough to depict constellations in voids, sunsets on the darkest evenings, and rainbows following floods. You become an artist of miracles when you grasp the palette of hope. Hope looks to the divine architect, not to statistics, so anything is possible. The light-bearer posits that darkness is not the absence of light, but rather the surface on which light is projected. This secret is known to angels. They are carrying lanterns made of stardust. Look up, they whisper, as soon as you feel engulfed. Stars flare there, in the dark emptiness. Your suffering and uncertainties serve as the background against which hope shines. There is a constellation there, not just a flash, for the perspective effect. Angels watch us as we dance with time from their perch on the brink of reality. To them, the past, present, and future are like stitches in a cosmic patchwork. You choose a different perspective when you choose hope. All of a sudden, failures turn into opportunities. Tears into seeds, and closed doors into openings. Hope transforms perception rather than changing the situation. 5. The dawn within you. Hope is an internal ember rather than something external. Instead of bringing hope, angels awaken it. It whispers, remember, when you are feeling low. Recall the promise that morning follows night, the dawn that bursts inside your ribcage. It is physics, not a corny platitude. Light creeps into crevices, bending around corners, spilling hope onto the canvas that is your soul. 6. The symphony of wings. Angels fly close, their feathers caressing our uncertainties. They compose melodies that resound in hearts that are tuned to wonder, symphonies of hope. You can hear it when you listen, the heavenly hum, the assurance that there is a way even when you are lost in nature. Observe it. Right north is indicated by hope's compass, thus, accept the heavenly murmur, tired traveler. You are a galactic wielder when you choose hope. Stars flare, darkness recedes. Hope is not a thin thread but a cosmic force that makes everything possible. Enjoy the constellations it weaves into your nights. Angels are dancing, so you are not alone. God is sometimes too busy changing you to change your circumstances. In fact, we seldom fully comprehend the wisdom that underlies God's enigmatic methods. It is natural to question why, when faced with unchanging circumstances, such as when trials seem to go unanswered and prayers remain unanswered. But think about this: the potter and the clay, God shapes us in the same way as a master potter. Our lives are the unfinished clay, and we are the containers. Instead of just changing our environment, He wants to change us. It is a complicated process that can occasionally hurt. He chisels away our sharp edges, molds our personalities, and fires us in the kiln of life. Rather than emerging as duplicates of others, we emerge as distinct vessels, fit for His purpose. The topography of the heart, the terrain of our hearts, consists of attachments, anxieties, and desires. God removes thorns of self-reliance, weeds of bitterness, and stones of pride as He tills the soil. He sows the seeds of faith, gives them grace, and then watches for them to sprout. Occasionally, the emptiness of our circumstances reflects the depth of our personal development, a reflection of our hearts. Life is the mirror effect. Unchangeable circumstances make us face our responses. Are we agitated or patient? Appreciative or whiny? Doubting or believing? God reveals who we really are through the mirror of our circumstances. The outside world becomes more colorful as we transform internally. The symphony of patience, active endurance, is what patience is, not passive waiting. God orchestrates this symphony in our hearts. He is master at planning setbacks, diversions, and letdowns. How come? Since perseverance breeds patience, and patience breeds character. The circumstances are the same, but our endurance grows. The wilderness school. Moses spent 40 years traveling through the wilderness. It was Moses' need for transformation, not God's loss of direction. The desert took away his impatience, ego, and Egypt's influence. In a same vein, our static environments, our personal deserts, show off our best angles. God teaches us humility, surrender, and reliance. The butterfly struggle. It takes effort for a caterpillar to break free of its cocoon and become a butterfly. Its wings are strengthened by the struggle. In a similar vein, God's delays and constant seasons readied us for takeoff. We pick up resiliency, compassion, and empathy. We become stronger in our faith and hope. Thus, keep in mind that even though God appears silent, He is not. He is molding you. Your soul dances to a divine rhythm, even though your circumstances may stay unchanged. Embrace the potter's abilities. Not only is he altering your situation, but he is also altering you.